Welcome to the Rad Chaser show. Please press start to begin the experience.
Greetings, my excellent chasers. Boy, oh boy, do we got a lot of stuff to go through. It's been a good month. It's been a good 2 months probably, I would say. We went to MetroCon. We went to M&M Games. That was just me and the son of Chaser going out together. I ended up doing some chasing on my own. I went to some GameStops. I went to some local video game stores. I got some Facebook Marketplace scores. Yo, your boy's been busy. He's been embodying the chase. Don't think you're going to be able to outchase the chaser? So let's just dive right into it. There's a whole table of stuff here that we need to get through. I have everything organized in piles according to different trips that I went to. I know it looks like chaos, but we're good. It's organized, I promise. Some of this stuff may have been covered before in other videos as well, but I wanted to get everything out of the way too, just so I can get this stuff labeled and organized and back onto the shelf. You know, we got the NES Quest going. I've done some side quest stuff here, as you will notice as well. So you might say I have a little bit of undirected stuff lust. I know we've been using the term side quest as a placeholder for maybe that. They're not quite interchangeable, but ooh, I mean, none of these are my actual side quests. Well, there might be some Dragon Quest stuff in here, or Final Fantasy, so not entirely true, but let's start ripping. Speaking of Final Fantasy, I have an assortment of Magic cards here. Couple things. Boom. Hydaelyn, Venat. Now, if anybody knows anything about Final Fantasy, you'll recognize some of this stuff. Espers. A couple of these cards are from Final Fantasy VI, which is, in my opinion, one of the best Final Fantasies in the series. If you don't know, now you know, and if you don't think so, feel free to destroy me in the comments. What's your Final Fantasy game? Let a chaser know. A couple of the other cards are from the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV Online. Now, if you haven't played that one, boy howdy, you better get chopping, because your boy here is about 8 years deep into it, so got a lot of catching up to do. Alright, cards, cool. Magazines. The local CVS, I don't know if you have those where you come from, but they have variant covers of these Pokemon issues, and I've gotta catch them all, so I've been catching them all. So this is the Bulbasaur one. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet, I gotta say. I mean, I'm not a Pokemon fanatic. I'm not a Pokemon fanatic. I'm not a Pokemon fanatic by any stretch of the imagination. I don't even think I own a Pokemon game to speak. And that's a good thing, because those games are astronomical, as well as the cards. The Pokemon card game is crazy. Yeah, any of you into that? I don't know. Let me know. I'm curious to see how many of these. I'm curious to see how much of this crosses over into the card game. I think this was covered in the MetroCon video, but this is the Japanese Mario 2. It's just like a little playthrough guide. It's got all the levels here printed out. This thing's in full color as well, so that's pretty sweet. Okay, I got a couple of random eBay items as well. I'm casually going for a full NES set, so as such, loose cards mainly, CIBs if they come through at a right price, and then manuals, you know, just to round out and complete stuff. So we got a couple things. Marble Madness, fun one. Paperboy. Baseball Stars by SNK. Always weird when SNK makes a game that's not like a Metal Slug type game. I always find that interesting. The Top Gun second mission. More the same from the first Top Gun. RoboCop. I did get a copy of this game off of Mercari, so this will join up together really nicely. Mario 2. I already have a CIB version of this, so that's not going to be a problem. However, oh shit on my face. Always good to have another manual on hand. You know, you can always upgrade it. You know, you can always, if you get another game card, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't know. As you've probably seen in some of my older videos, I have an older video series entitled AI Retro Video, what's it called? Future me here. It's called Unholy AI Retro Unions. Wherein I take a manual or a game and I marry it with the box, and we put it all together, and we, you know, we complete things. We chase here. We chase for completeness. A couple more things off the eBay. Dragon Quest V for the PS2. This is Japanese. This did not come out in the Americas, as they say. Maybe it came out on Super Nintendo, but I think that was Japanese too. I don't know. I'm not quite sure on that. I don't have all the facts.
Dragon Quest fans have a lot to be excited about, because this is the first time North American audience will have the chance to play Dragon Quest V, Hand of the Heavenly Bride on the Nintendo DS. Square Enix already released Dragon Quest IV: Chapters of the Chosen last year, and this game follows in its footsteps by providing a fresh new look on this classic role-playing game.
Radiata Stories. I have not played this series at all. However, it looks pretty sweet. It's a Square Enix game. One of my longer running side quests is to get all the Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest games, and then further out expanding, it's gonna be every Square Enix release. So this is a good one to add to the pile as well. Now it is in Japanese. Again, I know I've said this before, but Japanese RPGs are gonna be a bit of a sticking point, seeing as I don't speak or read the language too much. However, and I'm going to need a Japanese PS2 to play that, so it is what it is. I just want to pause real quick and say, yo, look at that sunset out there. That's pretty wild. It almost looks like it's a green screen. And the sun will be going down as the video goes on, but you know, that's pretty sweet. This one's kind of cool. Dragon Quest VII. This is a player's guide for the 3DS. Dragon Quest VII Player's Guide for the 3DS. This is pretty sweet. It's in Japanese, but it is full color. It's a thick boy. It is full color, which is pretty sweet. You can't mess with that. This falls under my side quest for Dragon Quest. It falls under my physical print media that I'm picking up, as well as the son of Rad Chaser. He's done with his Nintendo Power Quest. He only wanted to collect 100 for his main quest, and he said, well, I'm so close to the end, I'm just going to go for it and do all of them. So he's going to be coming out with a longer form video documenting that process soon enough. So stay tuned. We went to this place called Galactor NATO Rex. It's in Kissimmee, Florida, close to where we live, in this little strip mall called Plaza del Sol. I picked up some NES games, and I picked up a couple other games. I already went over that in a previous video, but I'll just run through them real quick here. We got Ski or Die with the logo AVN, and we made a nice little joke about that in the other video. You're just gonna have to watch that, but you know, we don't know who this belongs to, but it may have belonged to somebody spicy. Stay tuned for that one. Xenophobe, looking cool on the cover. It's a Sunsoft game, haven't played it yet for sure. The label is crispy and clean. This whole cart looks pretty sweet, so good one. Magmax, have not played this one either. This whole stack I have not played, so we'll just go ahead and put the old counter up there. Your boy goofed. My plan is to, once I collect all the NES games for this season, is to play them all as well and go through them. You know, I do have a one-a-day NES series, and I'm currently on like day 100, 101, 102, I think. So I got a handful of games left for that. And you know what? Once those are done, I'll just, you know, start filming these. Why not? Super Pitfall. In the previous video, we didn't know if we played this game or not, but the answer was a resounding yes. And this game it's garbage. It's hot garbage. It's glitchy. It's broken. You know, there's secrets that you would never know. Things like flying into a bird to warp to another part of the game. A super pitfall, more like super shitfall. Am I right? Yeah. Final Fantasy 13 is the greatest hits version. I love my red cases for my PS3 games. It's pretty sweet. I love it. It's got a manual in it, and the manual is in full color. You know, some of these greatest hits version of games, they'll use black and white print for the manuals, just as a cost-cutting measure for, you know, later releases. But there we go. Dragon Quest XI for the PS4, of course. That's a banger. Can't argue with that. I've played it. I have not finished. I started it, I think maybe when it came out I started it, and then I got sidetracked with something else, never came back to it, so I'm gonna have to get back to that one. I love it. The son of Rad Chaser played it. He finished it, so good on him. Bully for you, buddy. One last one from GTR. This is Shin Megami Tensei 3. This is Nocturne, and it is the HD remaster. I've been interested in the Shin Meg games in the sense of collecting more with the intention to play later. I know I've said this one before that I haven't played it and I want to get to it, but I'm going to get to it. You know what? We might have to make the backlog into a quest. Does anybody else out there have a backlog that is growing as your collection grows, or do you play them as you get them? Either way is fine in my opinion. You know, I like to play the games. I also like to collect stuff, so you know, this merges the two ideas, if that makes sense. Oakley dokley. Those were the Galactor NATO Rex scores. If you're ever in Kissimmee, Florida, go there. Plaza del Sol. cool strip mall. Go talk to Miguel, tell him Rad Chaser sent you, and he'll hook it up. I have another eBay score here, and it's all these NES sleeves you see here. So we've got both branded and unbranded third-party sleeves. So this is gonna help out because I am starting to accumulate more NES games, and I gotta sleeve them up. You gotta sleeve up, baby. You gotta sleeve up, and then you gotta bag up or box up. You know, you can't just have your stuff hanging out loose. It's not smart chasing. And we're smart chasers. We're blue collar chasers, and we're smart chasers. And I need you to be a smart chaser too. You want to be a smart chaser, don't you? That's why I wear these glasses. A couple things came in that eBay lot along with the sleeves. One is an NES cleaning kit. This one, the box is, got some damage right front and center, so that's pretty wild. However, this one is pretty clean and crispy on the inside. It's got the actual cleaner, it's got all the pieces, and it looks like it hasn't been used, and it's got the plastic bag too, and it has a little plastic bag for all the extra pieces that go in there. So I have another one of these. Maybe I swap out the box and make it more complete. Who knows? Anything could happen here. Ooh. And it's not on the table, it's over there. I'm gonna have to get a shot of it, but it's 3D printed. It's a rack for the NES Zapper. So I mean, it was part of the lot, and so I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I'll see if I can do something with this. So I got it set up in the other room on the wall. So it looks pretty cool. As you can see by this video, I'm putting on top of my blabbering. Also in that lot, there was just another one of these clear sort of rental type style cases with a Nintendo branding on it. I'm starting to accumulate a bunch of these, so ooh-wah-woo. Let's go. Okay. There's another video for this place called M&M Games in Tampa, Florida. If you haven't seen that one yet, you will. I picked this one up from there, Zoda's Revenge. This is Star Tropics 2. CIB, of course, and this one's heavy. It does have like a map. It's got all the stuff in the back. I wanted to pull it out of the box because sometimes some of these boxes, they come with thicker maps and inserts, and they are complete. I mean, I feel like it stretches out the cardboard, which, I don't want that. So, you know how you take vinyl records and you put like the actual record outside of the main sleeve and you put it in the back and then you sleeve that whole thing up. If you're OCD like I am. I don't know if you do that, but I do. Anyway, Zoda's Revenge. This one's pretty sweet and the box looks cool. So moving forward, I went to Gamers Inc. in Orlando, Florida. It's on the east side of town. I'm on the west side of town over by the Disney area, if you're familiar. So Gamers Inc. never fails. They've always got a bunch of stuff in there. The Son of Chaser and I've been there, multiple times together. I've been there by myself too. Snoopy, Silly Sports Spectacular. That's a mouthful. Now this label, I like this. I like this label art. It looks cool. The game is crispy, of course. The label is clean, so that's always a plus. Mystery Quest. I don't know if I've heard of this. I couldn't tell you what this one's about, but the art is cool, and it's an NES game, and it's going towards the NES Quest. So, and I will play it eventually. Don't fret about that. Along with that, I got another manual. Caesar's Palace. I don't think I have this NES game, but this is just one of those cheap, Vegas type games. So I mean, it's probably a relatively cheap game, and the manual was just a couple bucks too. So that'll marry quite well with the game once I get it. All right, we got a little bit of print media going on here. Game Informer. Look at Mario on the front there, yo. Front and center. Happy as a clam. What game is it? It's something. It's New Super Mario Bros. U for the Wii U. Woo. Game Center presents Geek Magazine with Zelda Skyward Sword on the cover, dude. And it's sealed, which is, I'm neither here nor there for me, but look how cool that is. I know the son of Rad Chaser loves his Zelda. He loves his Zelda, he loves his Metroid. So this could be, this says free. This says it's a free issue. I actually don't know much of the backstory on this Geek Magazine, so this is not quite video game relevant, but it was cool. And there is a video game of this cartoon. Simpsons Illustrated. It looks cool. It just, it's peak 90s. Peak 90s, peak 80s, peak 2000s, and today. They're still going hard. They've been around longer than you've been alive. And I think it's pretty sweet. One more thing from Gamers Inc. Oh, it's a big boy. This is a tome. Dragon Quest IX, Sentinels of the Starry Skies. Look how thick that is. My godness, I'm getting my workout on picking this thing up. This is Dragon Quest IX. It's the only mainline title that's been put out onto a handheld. I have played through this game for sure. I've finished it. It's been quite a long time, but I did finish it. I saw my old save file on it recently, and I was like, dude, it's wild. Hours and hours. You know, if you're an RPG fan, you've definitely sunk hundreds of hours into your game. You get immersed in this world, and you fall in love with the characters, and it's just, you know, you build everything up, and it's just like, RPGs is the best. I would go to say that's going to be my favorite style of game. Probably not going to be able to change my mind. Sorry, friends. Okay, moving on from Gamers Inc. There's a place that's kind of up the road from there called Hyrule Kingdom. It's a relatively newer place. I mean, it's been around for, you know, over a year, maybe a couple of years by now. I come to find this is their second store. They have one in Daytona Beach, Florida, if you ever go that way. A couple of pickups from there. Check it out. It's my namesake. This is Rad Racer. This is complete in box. The box is pretty okay. Boxes have seen better days, but it is complete in the box. It does not have the 3D glasses. I have yet to find a copy that has the glasses. This is like my third copy of Rad Racer, and this one is complete in the box. Now, let me show you what the back looks like. Now, if you're unfamiliar, this box, the variant of the box, this is a variant of the box. Normally the box has nighttime scenes on it on the back here, but these are clearly, you know, some daytime scenes, so this is a little bit more rare. I'm not quite sure how much more rare. I think I caught them slipping a little bit because, you know, it's priced a little bit lower than probably what a rare variant would be like. Two different boxes, one similar, exactly the same game. It's Rad Racer. You know we love our expensive cardboard in this family, but we also love to get a nice chasing price because we're blue-collar chasers, and that's the way we do. We bide our time, we look, we see something, we're like, if you do enough digging, you're gonna hit some dirt. And by that I mean gold. That makes more sense. If you're gonna do some digging, dig for gold, not dirt. Next up, John Elway's Quarterback. Oh look, another sports game. However, it is CIB, so that's, you know, the thing about it is, as you say to yourself, well, man, I want to collect NES games, and it sucks because I feel like they're very expensive, and, you know, they can get pricey, but there's plenty of moderately, appropriately priced games as well. Even stuff that's complete in the box. It might not be, you know, it's probably going to be a sports title or one of those, like, Vegas Dream type games, but, you know, it can be done. You gotta start somewhere. This one has the box and the game and a sleeve. It doesn't have the manual, but I'm sure, you know, a sports title manual will be super cheap. Speaking of sports games, that's going to be the rest of this NES stack, which is, you know, it is what it is. Ultimate Basketball, put out by Sammy, the same folks who put out this game called Amagon. Now, if you haven't seen that old video, here it is. Amagon. Alright, I've got Skater Die, and this is going to go along with Skier Die. Where are you at? Boom. The circle is complete. Skater Die, Skier Die. Both put out by Ultra. I've mentioned before, it's just Konami's shell company, which they sort of circumvented the fact that they could only put out, I think it was like 4 games a year under their own label, so they made another one so they could put out some other games. It do be like that sometimes, you know. Games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's a crazy game to be putting out on a side quest of a label, but, you know. Kings of the Beach volleyball game, haven't played it. The Black Bass fishing game, haven't played it. Although I do like the label. This one's a little curious. Al Unser Jr.'s Turbo Racing. I remember playing this one as a youngster. We had a friend, Jamie, who lived up the road from us, and I think he had a copy of this, and I seem to remember that's how we played this. This one's a little curious to me because it's got the gold sticker on the back, which indicates that this is a game that can save games. So I'm curious to see if this is something like you know, like a Gran Turismo type situation where you can make custom cars and do all that stuff and then just sort of save it. So this game might be longer than I anticipated. It might be, you know, some sort of, you know, build your own car type of racing game, and you can come back to it and blah 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 blah. So okay.
Al Unser Jr.'s Turbo Racing lets you design the perfect race machine, adjust your own car's performance, and take on 16 of the hottest tracks in the world with the pro. Al Unser Jr.'s Turbo Racing for Nintendo.
Could be something to check out. Awesome Possum. So now I have a couple of things from the Facebook Marketplace. I went and met this guy. He had a, I don't know, I like to hop on Facebook Marketplace and just sort of see what shakes loose, see what's around, you know, throw out a couple of, do you have this? Do you have this still? Would you take this amount for it? Blah, blah, blah. So this guy, he had a couple of magazines, and I don't think I've heard of this magazine before, but it looks pretty sweet. So it's called Sega Visions. Look at that. Dude, Doom 32X. Everything about that cover is like peak 90s, I feel like. When did this come out? October, November 1994. Look, and it's just, look, it's dope. It's in pretty sweet condition too. I have it bagged up with BCW bags and boards, which you should also do that too. Don't forget, your print media needs to be preserved, as well as your games. Box them, bag them, do it. One more copy of Sega Visions. This is from August, September 1994, and it's got a game called Fahrenheit on the cover. I thought for a second that was Harrison Ford with an Indiana Jones look, but I guess it's a firefighter. Either way, it looks pretty sweet. This must be 32X era, because again, there's another 32X game, so I love it. I think it looks pretty sweet. And then the guy also had one more thing. He had this, it's still in the bag, and it doesn't look like it's been opened. It's a Sega Genesis instruction manual. And the bag, I mean, the bag is obviously seen some, it's not damaged, but it's dusty even as I touch it here, so it's old. I don't know if I should take this out and then bag it up, or leave it in there and bag it up. What say you, my beautiful chasers? Let me know. Looks cool. I do want to open it so I can actually, see what it looks like. That tape has seen better days. It's definitely yellowed out, and it could stand to come off. But then it's like the purist in me says, well, should we preserve it as is? I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. All right, guys, we're cruising through this nicely. I think I only have GameStop pickups left, so let's go. So there is one GameStop in town where they, see you later, sleeves. Yep, keep falling, that's fine. So there's basically one GameStop in town where they send all the retro stuff to. I checked that one out. I found a couple of cool things in the case. I only got one thing out of it, but this is a limited run game, and it's called Amazon's Training Road. And it is still sealed. I'm gonna crack this thing open. I'm not worried about opening this thing. It's also, I guess it was a Japanese game. They brought it over here to the Americas by limited run. The sprite looks pretty big on here. She's quite literally an Amazon, so that's kind of cool. Looks like a side scroller. Yeah, this could be fun. Jump, kick, and slide your way through the danger, grabbing hearts and dodging bombs. But be careful. One false step in this pendulous plating and the world may never be the same. Amazon's Training Road. I ended up getting a couple of buy two, get one games. Valkyrie Elysium. This one's kind of been on my radar since it came out. It's a Square Enix game, of course. What's the other one? Valkyrie Profile? Valkyrie Herpderp? It's in the Valkyrie series. I like the art looks pretty cool. Ragnarok, the End Times, the All-Father Odin, Emissary of Redemption. Her sole task is the salvation of a doomed world. Valkyrie Elysium. I grabbed a couple of other games that they just sort of jumped out at me. Deathloop. This one, I don't know. It's a Bethesda game, yeah. So I mean, it's got to have some amount of quality to it. Good storyline, probably a lot of exposition, cutscenes, narration, etc. 24 hours, 8 targets, 1 rival assassin. Deathloop. It's rated M for mature, so kids, sorry. Over 50 perfect review scores. One more, Surviving Mars. Mars awaits you. Fancy a stroll on Mars? Sustainable colonies, high replay value, the mysteries of the red planet. Some of these games I just go sight unseen just because the price is right and they look cool, and they, I like to have fun trying to play new stuff. So this'll help me with that. I don't know if this is going on at all the GameStops, but all the ones in town are. They have these Game Informer, like just random back issues, and they're all like, with the membership, they're 97 cents, and that's wild. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna snag the ones I can snag. Look at that, Super Mario, of course, looking sweet. Your boy Ash, looking really, really sweet too, with that shotgun and that chainsaw. Apex Legends, never really played it, and by never really, I mean never at all, but that art looks cool. Your boy Sephiroth. burning everything down to the ground. I like that one a lot. And then once again, we've got Deathloop. So now we've gone from having no Deathloop stuff in the house to having all the Deathloop stuff in the house. I'll have to get back to you on see how this plays out. Boom. All right. 2 more GameStop stops and we're done. We're out of here. Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. I come to find this is just the game and like a little color like booklet in here. This is part of a bigger deluxe type edition, but this was just the only thing there. So I saw it, I was like, oh, this is cool, I'll try this out. I'm a fan of the new Yakuza games now that they've made them in more like RPG style. I don't know how this one will play out, but we will find out in time. Rhyme or Ream? I'm not quite sure how this is pronounced. A land of discovery and adventure stretches out before you. You awaken in a mysterious island after a torrential storm, armed with your wits and the will to overcome. Solve puzzles using sound, light, shadow, perspective, platforming, and even time manipulation. All interesting elements. This should make for a cool game. I got a couple more Game Informers. Check this out. Dead Island 2, baby. I don't know, for some reason I just sort of got into the Dead Island second game. I had the Hell A version of the game. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore, but I still have the save file on the PS5, so I can definitely like get back into it if I get a copy of the game. Sonic and the gang, they're all here, and again, just a fun cover. It's wild. I just love the fact that these are like 97 cents. It's cool. Hades 2, I'm not familiar with this one, but again, dope cover. One last GameStop score. Every so often, GameStop does 4 games for $40. This time that I went in, they were doing that. It can be up to $20. So I found 4 games that were at $19.99 each. I got the most bang for my buck. Life is Strange, True Colors. This is not in my wheelhouse, but I have seen lots of gameplay. Rockstar Kristen used to play this one a lot, so I've definitely seen a lot of the gameplay, so now I'm going to go for it myself. At the end of the day, it is a Square Enix game, and as such, it's going to go under the big side quest of collecting all Square Enix releases. Last Recode. Dot Hack GU Last Recode. This is a combination of, I think it's 4 Dot Hack games. I've played 0 Dot Hack games, so this is going to be nice. This is an HD remaster. I feel like the remasters are the way for the modern gamers to play the games, so something to check out. I got a lot of stuff to check out, I'm not going to lie. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. This thing looks loud. It's very stylized art. It looks like it's a lot of fast-moving stuff. I want to say it's like a futuristic skateboarding type game. And that's what I'm going to stick to until I put it in and check it out. But it looks pretty sweet. And, again, I'm just a fan of like, well, if something looks like it grabs me and the price is right, I'm going to go for it. You might say I have a little bit of undirected stuff lust right now, but what you going to do? Now, the Rad Chaser has this game. I did not know that when I got it, but Gungrave Gore. This is if you've never seen Gungrave, it's a killer anime. Definitely check it out. This is a third-person shooter style game. A stylish third-person action shooter. Take on the role of Grave, a gunslinger of resurrection and badass anti-hero of your dreams, mowing down tons of enemies in a gory ballet of bullets. Holy shnikes. Dead Island Riptide for the PS3. Again, more Dead Island, and they always these Dead Island games are always like $5. They're $7. They're the little cheapies, and I feel like this you get a lot of bang for your buck with these games if you like the zombie game, if you like the zombie slasher shooting genre. Definitely for you. This one came with it's got the game. It's got the it's not quite a manual, but it is an insert. It's got the controls on here, so that's pretty sweet. And then I got a couple more Game Informers. Assassin's Creed Mirage, and the casting of Frank Stone. I have not played either one of these games, but the art's cool, and I wonder how difficult it would be to get every Game Informer. I mean, I have a huge pile here. I don't know how long it ran. I don't have any of the particulars, but I'm already off to a good start with a nice assortment. I got a whole other stack of Game Informers, you know, from just previous pickups as well, so we could casually go for that. Why not? Woo! We did it. We made it through the whole stack. Now I can get all this stuff organized. I can get the sleeves on the NES games. I can get everything boxed up and bagged up and boarded up and shoved onto a shelf to be looked at every so often and be admired by, you know, anybody who comes by the apartment to check out the collection. If you're in town, you want to get a hold of me, if you're a gamer and you want to do some content here, please, by all means, hit me up. I'm down to have visitors. We'll hang out, we'll chat, we'll have a little beverage, and we'll play some video games. You know, we can mess around with a GameCube kiosk. This thing's dying to be used by anybody. I need some friends to play some Mario Party. Let's go for it. One last thing for the NES Quest. That means, stand by. Now, the NES Quest update. All these games now bring us up to 67 games out of a 100. And you know what that means? Can I get a little fanfare, please? Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, Chasers. Thanks so much for spending time with me. I know this was a long one. We made it, though. We're at the end. Tons of stuff to go through. I'm going to probably get to this stuff eventually in, in their own individual videos, and it's going to be a good time. I'm having a great time. We're deep into Season 3 now. We're on the back end. We're almost all the way through. I'm more than halfway done with the NES Quest. We've gone to conventions now. We're going to places out of town. The son of Rad Chaser completed his entire Nintendo Power Collection quest, so he's crushing the game. I'm very proud of you, buddy. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the future. This is the Rad Chaser. He's almost out of here, and now he's out of here.
I love Rad Chaser. He is handsome and smart.
Oh!